folks. This is Mongo. Mongo's Big Things. Very glad to be here. We got some very nice people here already in the chat. We have AFK Bard. We have JWorks Productions, aka J Accent, and aka J. I was about to say JFK, but no, I was gonna. Anyhow, let me move on instead of trying that joke. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you're having a very nice little Sunday evening. Let me see here. Make sure I got everything all set up in the proper order here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. So just want to go through one or two little things here since we got JFK part is my cousin. let me lower my audio so I'm not deafening you people. JFK part. Oh yeah. Let's see. There's a cricket stuck behind our fridge. Well, you better save him. He's got to go find the Pinocchio. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Now if that's one of your jokes there, Jay, I wouldn't be surprised if I did not if it flew over my head again, like some of your jokes do. But anyhow. Alrighty, so I kind of prefaced this in the little tweet that I put out about 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to go through one or two little bits of things here. Some little update. Okay, no joke. Okay, good. That is good. All right. I'm pretty wooden, though. So I'm going to go through one or two little tidbits of monstrous news that I thought was interesting, just because tomorrow I'm going to be going down to my sister's place. She's about an hour away from me. Going to be going down there, doing her lawn, doing her lawn, doing her planters, doing some of that kind of stuff. Nothing too crazy, but that'll be taking up my morning. So with that, let me just share this little screen here. Let me see. All right. So this is about the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong. This is the composer at Junkie XL. This is brought to us by Kaiju News Outlet on Twitter. I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, sounds like Godzilla vs. Kong composer at Junkie XL is going all out for the film's soundtrack. This is via Forbes. This is a direct quote from him, apparently. So he said, "I think we need the biggest bass drum on the planet for this score. I know the guy who can build it. What do you think?" They said, "Let's do it." So I said, "I want a bass drum that is at least 8 feet in diameter." He laughed. The guy called me back and he asked, "Is it okay if it's only 6? I said, "Could we do 8? Why can't we do 10? The answer was, "Well, there's simply no cow alive that has a skin big enough to cover for a 10-foot bass drum. So we have to scale it down to 8. It was worth the money." Now that's for the upcoming soundtrack of Godzilla vs. Kong. And I just thought that was really neat. I'm looking forward to that. It'll probably be releasing next year, hopefully during the summertime. And maybe they could use an elephant. I don't know. It's a drum thing. It's a musical thing. So I'm not particularly sure how that works, but I thought that was neat. Let me take a drink of water here. Here is something that I thought AFK Bard might like to see. AFK Bard, if you don't know, she really likes that Gamera. Gamera, the defender of the universe, the guardian of the universe. This is from the Defo Real line of X Plus. So they have done they've done a figure of Gamera 1996. It looks really nice. I love how it's looking. The eye there looks really nice. So this is from Gamera Attack of Legion. It's pretty nice. We get some look at the back there. I love the shell of Gamera. The back is very nice, a very detailed look. It's basically like a chibi, essentially. So you have Gamera here. You have this extra little piece here. I forget the name of this like fungus or flower thing, but you get a little Legion bug there, and it's looking pretty cool. I think. Oh, I don't think they've revealed a Legion Queen yet, but that'll be interesting to see. It'll be pretty big. It'll be pretty big. But there's a closer look at that. Gotta say, it's really nice. It's really neat looking at all these things. I personally don't buy this stuff, even though this thing is $79. It's a little pricey. Plus, I don't really got the space for that kind of stuff. But anyhow, folks, hopefully y'all are doing good. Let me see here. So before I proceed, I have quite a few things that I just want to plug, just so I get it out there. Berugon. I don't know if they've made a figure of that yet, but I think eventually they probably will. Let me just look that up. Now you've got my curiosity piqued here, so let me just say, let me type in Defo Real Gamera. I think so far it's really just been limited to a few things here and there. Oh yeah, I think I see a Beru. Oh no, that's not Defo Real. Hmm. So far it's really just been limited to the Heisei Gamera movies. I think they had one figure for Gamera 95. Oh, I'm seeing this thing. Let me see here. Let me share this screen here. Share screen. Just do this, and we'll stare into the void very briefly. But we got the Defo Real Coin Bank Trauma Gamera. We got this Gamera here. So I think so far we haven't really seen any other Gamera monsters. Surprisingly enough, we do have Godzilla 1998. This is the little baby Godzilla that came with the Rick exclusive. But here's a look at the actual Defo reel of the 98 Godzilla. It looks very nice. He looks really translated well to this median. Yeah, so far it's working its way along. I believe I was looking. Funny enough, I was looking at Big Bad Toy Store earlier, and oh, what's that? Oh, I forget the name of that kaiju. I forget the name. That might be Jiger. I don't know. But interestingly enough, I was looking at Big Bad Toy Store earlier today, and yeah, I saw they were going to do some Lord of the Rings stuff. So I saw a Treebeard and I saw a Balrog too. Those were pretty neat. Team Candy Corn. Team Candy Corn. Candy Corn Corn. Let me just pull up this little meme. Sometimes I dabble in memes. So look at that. So how I see candy corn, how others see candy corn. Uh, I was like, well, these are both really cool little pins. So let me do that. I dabble in memes sometimes. This was one of the first memes here that I ever made. This was a similar debate. Somebody was talking about raisins and how raisins are disgusting, and I was like, well, I like raisins and I like grapes too. So I was like, well, if you don't love me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best, that kind of thing. Let me see here. So yeah. Very briefly, let me just plug this wonderful little fundraiser here. Now, this is a very special dude in the Fandom Menace Fandom Collective community. You may know him by the name of Fat Steven Seagal. So he has a fundraiser going on GoFundMe.com, where he is raising funds for a new PC. He is currently at the goal of $420 out of a goal of $15K. Let me just put this down in the chat. So there is a link to that if you're ever interested in checking that out, helping out a fellow. Had a chance to talk to him very briefly here and there, and he's pretty good. Oh, wow. Kill candy corn. That's pretty that's pretty dark, Jeremy 5. That's pretty dark. Oh, and well, we got Moira Kitty, which reminds me, there's another thing that I wanted to make sure that I put out there. Let me see here. So I'm just going to share this other tab that I have because this is for another person that I've really gotten to know a lot better over the last, I guess maybe last month, probably more like last 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if I'd say it's a month, but here's another very, very nice person that I've had a chance to interact with pretty frequently. And so this is the Twitter page for Moira Kitty. Let me just say, I love the name Moira. Is that like? Let me ask you, is that like a an Irish thing? Moira. I don't know. Anyhow, Moira Kitty, she's very nice to interact with. Let me see here. This is a link to her YouTube. Let me copy the link address. Let me paste that down here, down her. Chat that out. Actually, I should click on that just to make sure it does lead to the YouTube channel. It does. Okay, thank goodness. I'm glad I did not just paste in a random link. I'm very glad I did not just paste a random link into the chat. You never know these days. There's spooky stuff on the internet. Spooky stuff. Speaking about spooky, we have Soul Assassin here with that spooky looking, actually not quite spooky, but alluring, a mysterious little PFP there. I love that. It's a little skeleton lady, with some face paint and something on her ear. Probably like headphones, but very nice. Very glad to have you here, Soul Assassin. And look at that. We got some movie magic going on today. We got JWorks Productions who just subbed to Moira. Very cool, very cool. Howdy. I am very glad to be here. So let me just click on this pinned tweet here. This is for Moira. This is going to be a link to her PayPal. Right now, she's in a bit of a rough spot here, folks. Let me just mute and pause this for a second here. I'll be right back with you. Alrighty, and I'm back, folks. Sorry for that short little interruption there. But yeah, so Moira, she's in a bit of a rough spot. As you can see here, she says it's a seriously rough spot. If you're able to, if you feel like it, it's your money. You do with it how you want. I'm going to copy this link address. I'm going to paste it down here in the live chat. And honestly, folks, I wouldn't be recommending this if I didn't personally know Moira, if I didn't trust her. This is a thing that I feel strongly enough about to put this out on a stream. Um, look at that cat. That's it's a rough spot. Nobody likes to be in these types of situations. So I'm going to share that with you guys. It's right there in the chat. Do with it how you will. Whatever happens, happens. But when people are in a rough spot, you try to do what we can to help people out. Let me see here. Speaking of good people here, let me see. So I did the fundraiser. I did the Moira Kitty. That's really nice. I try to be kind of nice. I mean, I'd hate for people to think I'm not nice. The alternative is not preferable. I'll say that much. Well, let me see here. StreamYards, I'm at about 18 minutes here. Okay. Let me just put in a few more little things here and there. And then we can get to the meat and potatoes, of today. So I'm going to paste here a little special person, a special something right there. This is a link to a very nice person here. She is, in fact, in the chat, and this is AFK Bard. Let me share my tab here. Really got to say shout outs to you people who know how to do this effectively because it's pretty cool. AFK Bard, she's going to be streaming later tonight at 9 p.m. I'll make sure I don't bleed over into that. She's going to be reading that Midnight Crossroad. And at this, I guess it's one of those kind of lovey-dovey kind of books. Maybe not too lovey-dovey, but it's got enough lovey-dovey in it. Yeah, hopefully, if you guys ever want to have something to listen to, then check it out. Check it out. And there we go. Put that in the chat there. And that's about all I'm going to start plugging for right now. When it comes towards the end of the show, I will plug some more stuff. But folks, let's go and let us proceed. Now, folks, I'm just a simple guy. I'm just doing what I can, and having fun doing it. As they say,
Mongo only pawn in game of life.
I'm a pawn, I'm just a man, an average man doing all the things the best I can. Sometimes things work out, and other times things just proceed as I would wish,
It is just as I wished.
Hopefully you got as much of a kick out of that as I did. I like kind of playing around with some of those little things there, like little clips and other little doodads, testing out this whole little basic plan on StreamYard. It's pretty neat. And today we'll be doing this thing called Movie Nights with Mongo. Guest welcome. Now, folks, this is just a simple little show, another chill show here. And basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy the StreamYard link here, and I will paste this into the chat. If you guys feel like popping on and talking a little bit with me and our wonderful studio audience here, then I will invite you to come on and, we'll kind of roll from there. So I am putting this link in the chat. Feel free to pop on and, remember, no rabble rousing, no rough housing. We're keeping this chill. We're gonna keep it chill. And let me just put that into the chat right now. And I think that works. I think that's how it works. Let me see. Yeah, there is the link there. Let me take a second to mute my mic so I can burp. Alrighty, lovely, lovely, lovely. So right now, folks, we are we're talking about some movies that we have seen recently. Um, I guess I'll start off about a movie that I watched about 2 weeks ago. This movie was pretty interesting to me. I had never seen it before, never heard of it before, but the movie is called Brawl on Cell Block 99. Brawl on Cell Block 99. Let me share this tab here. Oh, I got somebody in the back already. That's good. That's good. Let me see here. Brawl on Cell Block 99. There we go. And actually, since we got a guest here, let me just put them on first because they take precedence over little Google pages or tabs. But here we have the very nice, very delightful AFK Bard.
Oh my gosh. Hi. My dog started barking and everything.
How
Thanks
are
for dropping the link, man.
What was that?
I'm so sorry. My dog is going a little bonkos over here.
No problem. I'm pretty sure everybody likes dogs, right, guys? Everybody loves a dog.
Yeah. Hopefully the neighbors.
Oh, yeah. No worries, Jay. No rush, no worries. We're just keeping things chill. But let me just get down to it here. AFK, have you recently watched a movie that you would like to talk a little bit about?
Oh, yeah, sure. I went to see a movie yesterday with my sister and niece. They were showing Jurassic Park at our theater, so I thought that would be super duper awesome. It's my favorite movie of all time, and it was the first time we tried to get my niece to watch it one other time when she was like 8, and we couldn't get her attention locked on the first part of the movie because it's kind of slow. But she's 10 now, and so like it was great because I was like sitting in there. And basically, I just kept looking at her every time I knew something was going to happen. And, like, she was always jumping in her seat and grabbing her mom. And I was like, yes. So, it was fun.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how old is she now? So, you're saying she was 8 years old before when you first tried to get her into it?
Yeah. And for, like, that age and like at the time she just like we couldn't get her to sit still long enough to get the plot because it takes forever for it to kind of get rolling. So but this time around she had the patience and it was totally worth
it. So let me ask, was this your first time watching that in a theater?
No. I'm old enough to have been able to see it as a kid when it was in the theater the first time. So I've seen it every time that there's been like an anniversary showing for it and stuff like that too. So I'm a big fan.
That is great. That is awesome. We have some other fans of the Jurassic Park franchise, like good old Jay. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, give me popcorn, give me dinosaurs.
So let me ask you, have you stayed up to date on the Jurassic franchise? Have you watched the most recent Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
Indeed. I am a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever you want to call the fandom fan for hardcore for life. Like it can do me no wrong. It's like the popcorn poppin' feel good franchise of my heart. So, yeah.
That is great. Now let me ask you here. So I'm also a huge fan of dinosaurs. I love watching those same kind of movies, dinosaurs, Jurassic Park, even movies like King Kong where they have dinosaurs in them. They catch my attention. Now, there's a movie that I'd like to ask you. So you yourself have recommended an amazing movie to me in Baby Secret of the Lost Legend. Now, AFK, have you seen or heard of a movie called The Valley of Gwangi?
Oh my gosh, that's a really vaguely familiar title. I may have, but I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen some of these things. I'm getting a vague dinosaur vibe. Yeah, no, it could be the topic on hand. So
it's not as cute. Unfortunately, it's not as cute as Baby Secret of the Lost Legend. But let me just share a tab here. You may recognize some images on this little tab. Let me see. The Valley of Gwangi. It's a pretty old movie. But let me see here.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It's a fantastic little movie. Folks, if you guys haven't seen this, let me just get some details here. The Valley of Gwangi. Gwangi. This was back in 1969, American Western fantasy film produced by Charles H. Schneer and Ray Harryhausen. You heard that right, folks. Ray Harryhausen, the father of some of the most amazing and iconic creatures in stop-motion history. Ray Harryhausen himself was one of the people who worked on Gwangi and all the other creatures that you find in this movie. One of the things that I remember a lot from this movie was, of course, you have cowboys and dinosaurs. And unfortunately, later on in the movie, you have this dinosaur fighting against a poor circus elephant. And of course, the elephant is outmatched. There we go. That's so sad. Very, very, very kind of just, well, you feel bad for the elephant, of course. And really reminded me of another Harryhausen movie, 20 Million Miles to Earth, where there's also a monster and it also fights an elephant. And the result is really kind of sad. Oh, look at that poor thing. But anyhow, I digress, folks. Yeah, felt prompted to bring that up because really thought about how great that is.
The dinosaurs, I remember like as a kid being like one of those, you could pit it against any toy that you have in your collection at home, so that's kind of like what makes it really fun with all these low budget or smaller scale movies and whatnot. Is like the dinosaur versus whatever you thought of, and then you stamp it on there, and then you can kind of go wild.
Yes, totally. There was another movie I watched probably like a couple months ago called The Jurassic Games. It's probably, I think it was 2017, maybe 2016. Basically, it was the Hunger Games, but with dinosaurs. And surprisingly, it worked very well. It was surprisingly competent. Surprisingly competent. It used CGI, and surprisingly, it was pretty good CGI. But have you heard of that one?
I have not. No, I'm not I haven't been able to do any cool up to date dinosaur stuff. I was honestly, it was when I was a kid up through middle school and junior high, and then I kind of fell off the bandwagon, so to speak.
Well, let me see here. So this now I watched this on Amazon Prime Video. I think it was free on Prime Video. And it's a really nice looking thing here. You get some pretty nice little scenes. You get some cool sequences too. What was interesting is instead of making it like actual dinosaurs, like real life dinosaurs, it was a simulation kind of thing. So they take all these death row inmates, strap on these little Oculus Rift devices and put them into this digital world with digital dinosaurs. And then when they died in the simulation, they were injected with lethal injection, which
Wow, someone,
made things interesting.
yeah, I know. Someone was coming out with some really creative ideas one day.
Yeah. It's like, okay, guys, I can imagine the boardroom meeting. All right. Hunger Games, really cool. Dinosaurs. All right. I want some dinosaurs in this Hunger Games scenario. But do we really want real life dinosaurs? Well, that might be a little phony baloney. So let's do a simulation, I guess.
Did you
Oh,
ever
man.
hear of the show Primeval that was on?
Oh, yes. I remember watching a majority of that show on BBC.
Yeah, that was like what I think that was like my last like passionate TV show over there. Except for like the Doctor Who, it's just like I loved that. It was like it was kind of low budget, but it had dinosaurs and like time travel kind of, and I don't know. It was pretty sweet.
It was
So,
there was some interesting stuff there. It's like yeah, we gotta get these prehistoric things back in the portal or whatever, but we can't kill it because that's gonna screw up the timeline. Like, that
yeah,
whole kind of thing, like, oh, you touched the frog, you stepped on the frog, there goes half of Africa or whatever, half of Eurasia. Okay. But let's taking a look here at the chat. We got a great dude here, Thomas Gilkey, the Gilk Man. Recently, I've been kind of putting in G Man, G dash man, seeing how that works, floating that around here. I have a tab open because I was going to plug his channel. I'm not going to plug anybody. No, I'm not going to plug a cap in nobody. But let me just paste this here into the chat. And you can find his channel there. He's really great. Very nice to be associated with him. And wow, we got quite a crew of people here. Of course, we got the usual suspects. We got AFK Bard, Moira Kitty. We got JWorks Productions, Jeremy 5 Russia approved. We got the Gilk Man, of course, and look at that. We got Amber Kashyyyk Queen. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let me see here. So, okay, we've talked a lot about some dinosaurs. We talked a lot about that stuff. You people in the chat, you can feel free to drop any movies that you've recently watched into the chat or comment about that. Also, if you're interested, I'm going to paste this link, this StreamYard link, here in the chat again. If you're interested, feel free to click on that link and pop on into the stream here. Let's see, we're at about 35 minutes. We'll probably run this for, probably until the hour. Well, probably about, we'll see how it goes. I'd hate to commit to something and not meet that expectation. But I'll keep an eye on the chat, and I will briefly talk about a movie that I watched a few weeks ago. Now, AFK, let me ask you, have you heard of a movie called Brawl on Cell Block 99?
no.
All right. You're in the same boat as me, About 2 weeks ago, I never heard of this movie, didn't even know it was a thing. Are you a fan of Vince Vaughn?
I've been a fan of a couple of things that he has happened to be in. But I don't know. He's okay.
All righty. All right. So, I'd say I'm pretty much in the same boat. I watched Fred Claus. I didn't really like Vince Vaughn in that movie. I thought he was a bit of a jerk, brother of Santa Claus. And, he kind of a bit of a prick here and there in that movie. Anyhow, that aside, my hang-ups about Fred Claus aside, watched a few other movies. He's kind of like, okay, he was in that Psycho remake a little while ago. He's been in some other things here and there. He's a pretty funny dude. Well, he is also in this movie here, Brawl on Cell Block 99. Folks, I gotta say, this was an interesting movie to watch. This movie came out in the year 2017. It's rated R. It's classified as a action thriller. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. When I first started watching this movie, I didn't quite know what to expect. The name alone made me think it was going to be a movie like similar to The Last Castle, where it's a bunch of inmates. They kind of group together, fight against an evil kind of bad jail warden, prison warden. But just to give you a bit of a thing here, a bit of a summary, you got former boxer and drug mule Bradley Thomas, played by Vince Vaughn, of course. He's laid off from his job at an auto repair shop, and because of this, he ends up going back to the drug mule. He ends up transporting drugs again in order to make money and to support his wife. Eventually, things happen, shenanigans happen. He's in the green for a pretty good amount of time. He's had some very great success going back into the drug trade and the transportation of drugs trade, you know. He's not a especially nice man, but, you know, he gets the job done. Some stuff goes sideways on a deal, and he ends up in jail. And eventually it leads him on an interesting quest of revenge / violence. And let me just tell you, folks, the plot of this movie, if I had to compare it to anything, I would compare it to, let me paint a picture for you. So let's say you're in you're driving along, you're in a little neighborhood. It's a 15-mile-an-hour zone. You're driving your car, you're going maybe 10 miles an hour. You're going pretty slow. You come up to a speed bump, and all of a sudden you floor it to like 40 miles an hour. You get to the speed bump, you go dun 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 dun. You almost get thrown out of your seat, you know. That's what I would describe this movie as. There are very long periods where it feels really slow. And then comes a part where Vince Vaughn's character engages in violence, and it just gets cranked up to 20. And you just get blown away by the amount of, I guess I would classify it as like ultra violence that happens in this movie. Apparently, you know, the Vince Vaughn's character is a former boxer, and essentially he has to get into the heart of a prison, and the best way that he can do that is by being violent with inmates, with guards, and it's really it's both funny and horrifying, slightly horrifying to watch. Folks, if you haven't seen that movie, yeah, I guess I'd recommend it. You know, give it a watch, you know, and really soak in the amount of turns that the movie takes. But yeah, boy, was that something. Sheesh.
That's an interesting description. I like that.
Yeah. Let me see here. So, yeah, if you guys in the chat have any movies that you've seen recently, you know, feel free to comment. Holy cow, I've been talking for so long, I haven't even been looking at the StreamYards thing here. We got a guest in the back room here. Holy cow, I feel my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. But anyhow, let me welcome him in with this little clip here. Folks, if you're like me, you enjoy being creative, but some of your creativity may not be up to snuff. So here's what I did. I contacted Jay Accent. If you want something done, if you want something artistic or creative done, I would suggest checking out JW Accent on Twitter. Link in the description down below. And with that, folks, let me introduce this guy. Well, actually, let me usher this guy into the stream. He's been very patient. I don't know how long he's been waiting, but here is the man. This is the J-Man, or J Accent Productions. And here he is, folks.
You know how dark it is backstage? I mean, it is really dark.
How have you been, Jay?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Been working on something here. 1 second. Hey there, butterfly. I can go twice as high. Let's take a look. It's in a book. It's Mongo.
Hey, nice.
Hey, okay, how you doing?
That's really nice.
Doing good. Hi. Happy Sunday.
How's that cricket situation going?
Oh, it's here. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Probably can't, but it's right back there, and I can't find him. Here, I'll try to get close to him and see if you can hear it. You hear that?
Oh, I hear him.
Oh, that's sweet.
And
That
it's
was like,
been going.
This is like a
It's been going
safari.
for 3
Like a
days.
safari.
3
Oh
days.
wow. What do crickets eat? Do they like eat grass or something, or
They eat smaller
I
bugs.
don't know.
Usually, I
I
think.
feel like eventually, like the thing would get hungry. Do they eat other bugs? Are they like carnivorous?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Pretty interesting. I don't know. Yeah,
That should be another
I'll
monster
have to
movie
look
with
that up.
giant crickets from outer space.
they're also stupid as heck.
Strong words. Strong words.
On my way
Strong
out of the
words
mall,
from this AFK.
I went
We
to see
crickets, mighty warriors.
right? I rescued one at the mall yesterday. I was on my way
Mm.
out. It was on the inside of the door to the mall, just chilling. And I was like, you're screwed. There's no way you're getting out of here. And so like I patiently walked up to it, and like it was so stupid. Like I tried to like peel it off of the door. It wouldn't get off. And then finally it fell and landed on my leg. And I was like, fine. I walked it out, and it just wouldn't get off of me. So I just kept walking for a while, and I flicked it. But those things, they just don't have any common brain whatsoever.
I mean, sorry. I would think most bugs don't have common sense.
Unlike you, AFK, we don't all look down on these lesser life forms, quotations at.
They have some form of sentience.
You know what? Bugs have
I
been
believe
around.
in the heart of every insect
What is
there is
their
potential.
excuse?
Not all crickets, AFK. Not all crickets.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to hate on all crickets. That's their species to me.
Alrighty here.
We had talked about. Sorry.
No, go on ahead. Go on, Jay.
Last time we had talked about the Meg, and at the time I wanted to ask you a question, and I plumb forgot the title of the movie, but basically, and I found it afterwards, but the movie was called Underwater, and I had never seen it before, but I wondered if you had seen it and what you thought of it.
Underwater. Did that come out? That came out in 2020. Huh. Oh, it's got. I haven't seen it, but I'm looking at some. I'm looking at it on Google here. It looks like Kristen Stewart is in that movie. Wow. Huh. Yeah, it stars Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassel, Jessica Henwick, John Gallagher Jr., and some other people. Huh. I have actually not seen this movie. Have you seen this one, AFK?
I have not. No.
Let me see. I'm looking at IMDb here. It's got a little summary. A crew of oceanic researchers working for a deep-sea drilling company try to get to safety after a mysterious earthquake devastates their deep water research and drilling facility located at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Wow. I've seen the poster, but I never saw like any trailers for this one.
This sounds vaguely familiar, though. Wait, when did it come out?
2020. Let me see what released January 8th. The initial release was January 8th in Indonesia, so probably around January 8th in the US, maybe a little later, but wow.
I guess it's a plot that I've seen somewhere before, but no, I'm always into that kind of stuff. Anytime we go deep sea, that scares the crap out of me. That's my scary zone.
Oh, they got a pretty cool poster here. Let me see. Yeah, okay, let me share this. I like the look of this poster. I remember seeing this poster at least once or twice, but that's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah,
I
wow.
like that.
Teeth.
All them teeth. I like that. Like an anglerfish type of thing. You know how those things are freakish.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh man, what is that one movie? It's such a classic too. I hate when my memory goes whack. It's a kind of a deep underwater movie. Oh shoot, it's an old one too. It's like back in the 80s or 70s or something. The Abyss. That's what it is.
The Abyss. Oh yeah. I'll have to. I'm gonna try and find this. I'm willing to bet. I'm hoping that it's free on Prime Video. I would love it if it was on Prime Video. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna make a note of that. I usually try to rewatch these things, but here's a note to Mongo. Make sure you watch Underwater. Make sure you look that up. Anyhow. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got a nice poster. Very nice. Moira Kitty. Very good. So, before I get all carried away here into the depths of this discussion, Jay, would you like to talk about a movie that you watched recently with us in the stream here?
Yeah, most recently, earlier today. Well, we stopped it because it's a 3-hour movie, so that I could get on the live chat. But it's called Doctor Sleep, and it's supposed to be the sequel to The Shining. It is good. It's not great, but it's good. I mean, it's what you expect from seeing something from Stephen King when it deals with more focus on the characters. It's definitely written more for character-driven sort of story aspect of it. But there are some horror elements. It's a little slow at the beginning. But I think once it gets towards the middle, once it gets to the nitty gritty, towards the end, it starts to get a little better. But me and Noel, there are 2 versions that are free on TV. One's the regular one that was in theaters. Apparently, people walked out on because it left out a lot of backstory and stuff. And the other one was the director's cut, which is the one we're watching, which is why it's 3 hours. And we heard that it was a lot better than the original cut. So we're watching this one, and like I said, it's like a popcorn flick. Every once in a while you go and watch it, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's like one of the greatest stories ever told either, but it's still good. I mean, give or take.
Very interesting. Have you seen this movie, AFK?
I was gonna say I haven't even seen the first one.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
I know, I'm awful. But I was gonna ask though, for since obviously I haven't seen it, but from years and years of basically hearing people talk about it and watching talk shows that reference it, it seemed like it was a sort of movie that didn't need a sequel. What am I wrong in saying that, or did it feel like it was it wasn't tacked on? Like, did it feel like a natural sequel?
Yeah, you know what? It does actually connect to the original film. I don't really believe that it absolutely 100% needed a sequel, but I think for Stephen King's benefit, he wanted a sequel, and I'll tell you why. Because when The Shining film came out with Stanley Kubrick, Stephen King hated it because he took so many elements out of the book and added his own elements that I guess to Stephen King it just didn't make sense. So what this is it takes both elements from the book and from the film and kind of molds it together to kind of create an original sequel that connects to it. And Stephen King, I guess, loves this. He says that it's to him, it's the kind of the sequel or the story that didn't get told. Now there is a Shining that I like personally. I like both Kubrick's and this Shining. There was a made-for-TV movie that was very, very close to the book. It's a very rare find, but it's just The Shining, and yeah, like I said, it connects very closely to the book.
Okay. I was curious about that because, like, I know that he writes like a bajillion things and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that the sequel was necessarily, off of his. I don't know, because like Michael Crichton, right? Like he had like the Jurassic Park book, and then they liked it so much they wanted a sequel movie, but he technically didn't have. So he wrote a sequel for the movie, even though, like, yeah. So that all those kind of things confuse me. So thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
That's really interesting.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've heard of that other Shining movie that you were talking about. I've heard of that. Never seen it though. But
Oh, definitely worth a try. It's got some like classic character actors in there too. You'll definitely recognize a lot of the actors that are involved with it.
let me see. So, yep. Go on ahead. Go on ahead, AFK. I'm just babbling.
For final notes, for someone who's never encountered The Shining or whatnot, or what's the best way for me to encounter it?
What was that, AFK?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, what's the best medium for me to go see it? Like The Shining, like the movie, or like read the book, or what?
Well, I mean, have you ever read a Stephen Cook? Have you ever read a Stephen King book?
Nah.
A lot of it will start off and I mean very slow, what he writes. Like I said with this film, it's what you would expect from Stephen King. It's character driven. A lot of the stories he writes are very similar to his own experience as a kid. And I think a lot of people sympathize with the characters that he creates because it comes from his own experiences too. But for the most part, it's like if I would say start with the book, then kind of go down that road, and watching the film. I don't know, whatever medium you can get it on to watch it, and then maybe watch the TV made for TV movie version of it too, which is closer to the book. That way you can, kind of create your own opinion on it.
Yeah, I'd agree with Jay there. looking it up, you can rent The Shining on Prime Video. I saw a few links on Netflix, but when I clicked on them, it was like, "Oh, are you lost?" I'm like, "No, I try to find The Shining, but yeah." So I couldn't tell you if it's on Netflix,
Found
but
The Shining, and he has The Shining.
everything's on Prime. Amazon has every movie, but it's nice when you can get them for free. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I will say I really enjoy The Shining. Shelley Duvall is in that movie. I won't spoil
Oh,
anything about it really, but I will definitely say she's probably like one of the best mothers in like a horror movie. You know,
she's
like I'd
God
want her
tier,
on my
man.
side. What was that?
I said she's God tier, man. Tell you
Totally.
about the actress. Little info, a little tidbit about that. Stanley Kubrick, when he directed and wrote the movie version of The Shining, he constantly hounded Shelley Duvall to the point where when you see her on screen, she is genuinely frightened and
Oh,
scared and tired and like at her wits' end. So when you see her screaming and yelling at the other, to just get back, she really wants
oh,
she wants him to get back.
wow.
That's some method acting right there.
Man. Um, a little unrelated, but Shelley Duvall. She was Olive Oil in the Popeye movie. And she was one of the only main actors who, core main actors. Because there's Popeye, there's Olive Oil, then there's Bluto. Well, she was able to sing all of her. Well, she only has like one song, but she actually sang in that, and I was like, oh, that's neat. But
Oh my
wow,
god.
hearing about this Shining stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's really been elevated a lot more. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
sheesh.
I don't
me
know if
and
I'd be able to
me.
watch that now because I legitimately wouldn't have known that she was olive oil until you pointed that out. Now I'm gonna say, what happened to Popeye?
Me and Noelle, my wife, she as we're watching Doctor Sleep, they kind of go back and forth throughout the film, and little Danny Torrance, of course, Shelley Duvall's character, Torrance. This woman, whoever the actress is, and I gotta look that up sometime, but whoever this actress is, at certain angles and from a distance, she looks like a young Shelley Duvall.
Oh,
And when she talks, my goodness, if you were to close your eyes, you would hear Shelley Duvall's voice. It's really odd. I don't know where they found her, but it's like, what?
that is great. That's amazing. Very interesting stuff. All righty. Well, we're going to start wrapping this up here. We got some very great stuff. I'm going to start putting in a few good words for some of these amazing people. I'm clicking rapidly through all of my tabs here. So I'll start off with a very special dude. This is the Mr. Seagal, not just Mr. Seagal. We call him Mr. Fat Steven Seagal. You can call him anything, but here is a lovely little GoFundMe link. He is raising funds for a new PC. Guys, whenever I post links like this for fundraisers and some stuff like that, use your own judgment. I'm not going to tell you how to do, what to do with your money. Who knows? If you want to buy me a new car, you can always do that. I won't say no, but anyhow, here's a link to Mr. Fat Steven Seagal. He puts out some very funny stuff. He did some candy corn stuff earlier today. I was watching on La Reina Creole's channel. Just hilarious stuff. Hilarious stuff there. So we got that. Next up, going to go with Moira Kitty. Let me just share the screen first. Share the tab. Moira Kitty. Lovely person. It's always a pleasure to interact with her. She's going through some hard times right now. Let me copy the link address and let me paste that into here. Very nice person. And, it's always tough to have people going through hard times. It's always tough. Let's see, on some more positive notes here, we have something very cool happening in about a half hour here, courtesy of our own AFK Bard. She is amazing. She's been doing this for what, maybe 2 or 3 weeks now. You've been reading Midnight Express AFK?
Yeah, Midnight Crossroad. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've probably been butchering it the whole stream. Oh my goodness. Midnight Crossroad. Why am I saying the Midnight Express? I think that was a WWF wrestling team, the Midnight Express. Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Ha.
It's pretty hardcore.
So we got she's gonna be
The polar.
AFK, how about you tell us a little bit about this so I don't butcher it anymore?
Oh, well, it's a trilogy that Charlene Harris wrote. She's the author of the Sookie Stackhouse series, or the Southern Vampire series, aka True Blood. And this one is a whole lot smaller in size, and it takes place in a small little Bodom town of Midnight. And it's just about quirky characters. There's a vampire, there's a psychic, there's a witch, and there's a murder mystery. And it's like a whodunit, but with really weird characters. So, and of course, there's the lusting after, characters. So, right?
So would you recommend this over maybe Twilight?
No, well, this isn't
a little different.
Not primarily a romance. It's more of a kind of ensemble cast with a romance thrown in mystery. But so if you're looking for something that's like, I don't know, it's clearly written by somebody who has some grandiose ideas of like what it's like in like Texas. I don't think they've ever lived there. But it's fun. It's a fun little read. So yeah, I don't know. It's a nice little brain tickler. There you go.
So it's short and it involves vampires. So can I say that it's bite-sized?
Oh, there. That's perfect right there.
Well, you can say that we got some good humor in this stream so far. That is great. I will fully say that little joke here.
It is just as I wished.
Was just as I wished. I thought it was amazing right there. Just as I wished. And sometimes I try and bring it in. Hopefully that was a semi-understandable sentence with the clip there anyhow. All righty. So we got good old AFK Bard. I know where I'm going to be in about a half hour. I'm going to be down in her chat, in her stream chat, and I'm going to be listening to some Midnight Crossroad. Now with 31% more intrigue. Is that a new thing, or?
I gotta drag them in somehow.
Yeah. You'll never believe what happens next in Midnight Crossroad. Oh my goodness! All those kind of things. Midnight Crossroad, prank gone wrong.
The last chapter, people stared at each other and ho-hummed.
So I was recollecting earlier today, and I thought, man, that name Mongo sounds really familiar. And I kept thinking, kept racking my brain. Mongo, where do you get that name? And I thought, oh my gosh, Shrek 2.
I gotta get a clip of that. I love that character.
That scene traumatized me when I saw it. Like when he gets hit, and then you see the little gingerbread man, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Not the gumdrop button. And,
Buttons, you're a monster.
more foam, less steam. More steam, less foam. All those guys. That's great. Gosh, that's like one of the best sequels out there. Shrek 2. Oh, one of the best movies out there too. It's like good. Oh yeah, back in little backstory on that, the origin of Mongo. So yeah, back in high school football, I was playing the football. I was playing mostly offensive line, and I had a coach, big, huge dude called Coach Burke. And he'd come up to me. He's like, "Hey there, man. I'm gonna call you Mongo, okay?" And I was like, "Okay," And originally, he was like, "Yeah, because you're like that one guy from the Mel Brooks movie, Mongo." I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that movie." And it just so happens it same name as the Shrek gingerbread guy, and let's just say, I'm a simple dude. So I was like, oh, yeah, cool, Mongo. Because we all know that.
Mongo only pawn in game of life.
So, I was like, okay.
I remember that now.
It's always, I was like, okay, I can roll with that nickname too. I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm fortunate that there's been some wonderful characters, like whether it's a giant gingerbread man or a giant cowboy man. It's very nice. I got stuck with a good nickname, and usually I just find it's a little easier to pronounce than my actual name, Alika. It's Hawaiian in origin, Hawaiian on my mother's side. But anyhow,
I like that name. It's a cool name.
Yes, thank you, you guys. I know you guys planned this out. You guys planned it out. You were gonna flatter me on stream, make me blush, all that kind of stuff.
Yet?
What? What? Yeah, you guys really flattened me with that. Folks, this has been a wonderful little stream here. Let me put in a few good words here. Jay Accent, he's in here in the stream with us. Jay Accent, also known as JWorks Productions. JWorks Productions. I have taken the liberty of being prepared for this. So let me put his a link to his YouTube channel in right here. Let's see, it's in the chat right now. Also, hello to Fallon Reacts. She has some great streams today. Really great streams today. Talked about Revenge of the Sith, but I digress here. I had some wonderful stuff here. So also, Jay is an amazing artist. And not only that, but he consistently impresses me and surprises me with all the stuff that he does. When I first got onto Twitter and started doing this whole thing, I found some videos of Jay. I was like, okay, this guy is funny. It was either a Yoda impression that you were doing, and it was either that or it was a Palpatine impression. It was one of those two videos. Well, I saw those videos and I thought, holy cow, this guy is hilarious. And in turn, that kind of just inspired me. I'm like, okay, this guy, he's having some fun on here. He's having some fun. He's making some videos. Maybe they don't exactly have an agenda to them, so to speak. Although the agenda, I would say, is, hey, this is fun. People are going to like seeing this. And that's the kind of person that Jay is. He is eccentric. He's eccentric, Jay, you got a few words. You got some stuff that you want to, just share briefly about what you do here that you'd like people to check out. While you do that, I'm going to put a few links down in the chat to your Fiverr and your coffee and probably a few other things too.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Thank you very much. That actually means a lot. And I like the fact that you pronounced my last name right, or the my that's my pen name, my stage name, Accent. Uh, Funny thing about that is you said eccentric, and that's where that comes from. It's sort of half of eccentric. I just got rid of the other. Um, but if you want, check out my YouTube. For the longest time, I tried to range from goofball stuff to dramatic stuff. Now I've just kind of focused more on the dramatic stuff. So you'll find a lot more audio dramas, things to do with acting, maybe some impressions and stuff. But at the moment, my channel's dead
Mm.
because I haven't done much on there. But I got to get back in the groove, so to speak. But yeah, it really does mean a lot because, the word struggling artist, it's real. It really is real. And, when you have that passion, sometimes, that drive is the only thing that keeps you going. So, when other people enjoy it and they're entertained, like what you are, it feels really good. And, it definitely puts me in a different place, a different mood than prior. And I really super appreciate that. But
Mm.
yeah, check out my YouTube. He's got the links he's putting there for Ko-fi is the name of the site,
Mhm.
and Fiverr. Um, it I like to do artwork. I like acting. I like voice acting. I like to write, and I also like to do impressions and things like that. So yeah, again, I really, really appreciate having a plug to say those things and to feel like people actually care. As sometimes in the past, I felt like nobody cares about the work I do, and there are times I do give up, but I try to keep trucking, and I'm still here. But thanks again, though.
Mm. Glad to have you here, Jay. Really glad. Sometimes you joke, and sometimes the joke passes over my head. I don't profess to be a smart dude, but I do appreciate your patience. But folks, we're going to be winding it down here. It's about an hour 15, 8:43. Had some wonderful stuff here. Right before I end this thing, I put the link down here for another good friend, Thomas Gilkey, aka the Gilk Man. You could call him G Man. You could call him um, another cool name, if you come up with it. He's a really cool guy. I really appreciate him. And while I have AFK Bard here, I just really want to say it's really delightful to have you on here again. It is amazing. It's part of why I love being in this community. Emotionally, this whole community, whether it's the Fandom Menace or the Fandom Collective, they
Mm.
have been very, very sustaining for me. Being just some average dude, it's just really great to be able to help support people. And there's just so many people out there who I could try to name, but it's impossible to really say everybody. Jeff W., hey yo, you rock, buddy. And with that, folks, uh, if you guys want to say your last goodbyes, say them right now, and I will have a little video playing in 5 seconds.
Yeah, definitely check out G Man. I think Gilkey is a really cool guy and worth your time. And I'm definitely going to listen to what is it? Crossroads or sorry?
Oh, yeah, Midnight Crossroad.
Yeah, I'm gonna start listening to those on your channel. a little bit later too. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on, as usual.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Anytime.
Mongo. It was nice hanging out with you.
All right. You guys do great. So, folks, hopefully you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye.